Yo, what's going on, guys? Johnny GB here, bringing you guys some TCGO. It has been a while since I brought you guys some of the Pokemon trading card game. Well, I got a couple decks I am actually going to make some videos on, and this is one that I'm actually very excited with. I've not seen anyone else bring out this deck profile. I'm going to review the deck profile, what I'm using, and I'm going to play one, maybe two games with it. And I'll bring you guys another video with 3 to 4 games so you guys get a firm grasp of what the deck can do. Now, there are a couple variations I am trying with this deck to see what is the most optimal play with this deck. And one, let me get some audio. You know what? I'll edit the music in the background. Just some optimal plays with it. So I'm going to go in here to my deck manager now. Ultra Prism is out. This is an Ultra Prism deck, and it is a little bit difficult to actually build. This is actually viable for the standard format. So what the deck revolves around is Leafeon, EX, and Luranits. Now, I want to see it like this. No. Let's see. How can I actually show it? Alright, so here we go. Got it. Took me a little bit. So the deck revolves around Leafeon GX and its GX attack, Grand Bloom GX. So for each of my bench Pokemon, I can place one Pokemon that evolves from that bench Pokemon. Now, for one energy cost, you're pretty much wanting to go second with this deck. The main reason you want to go second is so that you can bridge it, evolve everything, and use your GX attack. That way your second turn, turn 4, you're able to pretty much put a double colorless energy onto Leafeon, and now you're starting to hit for a lot of damage. So we play a 4-3 EV to Leafeon line. I'm very happy with it. Most of the time, I'm only using one Leafeon in a game, maybe 2. So I'm very happy with this. Now, this second line here is something I'm testing, and it's mostly for the Volcanion/Ho-Ho matchups. It is a 2-2 Dupiter and Araquanid line. Now, this Araquanid is from Ultra Prism, and it is just a reprint of the Sun and Moon base set Araquanid with its ability Water Bubble, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by Fire Pokemon. Now, you can get this out turn 2 with Leafeon, and its attack Aqua Edge, 70 damage for Grass and a double colorless, not great, but it is the same energy cost as Leafeon GX, so it was something where it's like, I don't want to take an auto L anytime I play Ho-Ho, Entei, Volcanion decks. So I figured, let me throw this in. If not, if I don't play a Ho-Ho, Entei, Volcanion deck or something of the sorts, it ends up being Ultra Ball discard fodder, which, you know what, it's fine. I don't have to discard Cynthia's and something just so I can get my Lele. And in those Volcanion matchups, it's a pretty good stall card so that I can get Bulu set up, or I can just start damaging away at stuff with the Araquanid because they don't have any other secondary attackers other than Tapu Lele. So it's something I'm testing. Other ones I've tested, you can put Zoroark in here, and Zoroark isn't bad. It's draw support, but I do have quite a bit of draw support cards in here, so I will be bringing another variant of the deck here soon with the Zoroark. Then we have a 4-3 line of Fomantis and 3 of the promo Luranits. Now, this Luranits is a hard one to get. You have to find, I believe it's the 1-pack Guardians Rising's blisters. Now, these blisters, you can get these promo Luranits. Its ability Sunny Day, the attacks of your Grass Pokemon and Fire Pokemon do 20 more damage to your opponent's active. Very good, as now your Leafeon with 3 of these on the bench is hitting 170 your second turn, 200 with the Choice Band, which is knocking out opposing Leafeon, opposing Glaceon EX, Tapu Leles, Tapu Bulus, Tapu Kokos. So It is a very good promo, and you can get 3 out on your first turn very easily. And then I play 2 Tapu Bulu as a nice secondary attacker. Now, the reason I don't have Zoroark in this deck is because with Zoroark, my only non-GX attacker is now falling back onto Lurantis. When Araquanid helps me in the fire matchups, it also helps me when I'm going against stuff like Hoopa and going against Alola Ninetales. And then 1 copy of Tapu Lele GX. Now, as far as the supporters go, I play 1 Energy Lotto, just in case you do need to find out, search that grass energy. 4 copies of Ultra Ball. This is pretty much to search out the Tapu Lele. 1 copy of Acerola, so if I do need to pick up a Lurantis that might have been damaged due to a card effect, or a secondary effect, or pick up a Bulu. I play 3 copies of Bridget because you do want to get out the Fomantis turn 1, or if you open with some in hand, get either a Dupiter if you're playing the fire matchup, or your Bulu's out onto the bench. 4 copies of Cynthia. This is just basic draw support. That is all Cynthia is there for, making sure that I can get cards into my hand, or cards that I need. 4 copies of Guzma because sometimes you do get your Lurantis trapped if you're not able to put a float stone onto it, and this allows you to get into your Leafeon or Tapu Bulu. 2 copies of N for more draw support, 2 copies of Sycamore, 2 copies of Choice Band, and 4 copies of Floatstone, 3 of which will be on the Lurantis, 1 on the Araquanid. And depending on the matchup and how the game's going, you can either do a Choice Band or a Floatstone on the Leafeon. And then finally, energy-wise, we play 8 grass, 4 double colorless. Now I'm going to adjust this to be maybe a little bit more efficient, probably cut out the Choice Bands and maybe go for more grass energies just so I can have the grass energy. But enough talking about the deck. Let's actually get into it. And as you guys can see, I've gotten decently far with just this deck. I haven't played any other deck here. And I do not want to be using Zoroark, Lycanroc Zoroark. Alright, so we are getting matched up against Water Electric. So I'm not sure what he has. If I do win the coin flip, I did not. I do want to go second. Alright, so what did we open with? We opened up with an Eevee. Unfortunately, we did not open up with a Grass Energy. And we did not open with a Bridget. So this is not the ideal start. Alright, so he did go first. He's playing a Snorlax. What does a Snorlax do? Any damage done to this Pokemon by attacks is reduced by 30, and immediately he threw a double colorless onto it. So what I'll do is I'll throw a Choice Band just in case he's maybe Raichu GX, and I'm going to Cynthia, see if I can get a Grass Energy. I do get the Grass Energy, and I do get a Ultra Ball. So that is a good start. So Ultra Ball, I will have to toss probably one of my ends and a Floatstone here, as we do got Leafeon. So what we're going to do here is we're going to toss... Actually, I think we're going to toss a Guzma. Guzma doesn't seem like it's of much use here. We do want to grab my Tapu Lele GX, and I do want to see how many Lurantis I have. I have only 2 Lurantis, so one of them's prized. So that means I can potentially grab Bulu from the Bridget next turn. So already thinking next turn I'm going to need Bridget to get 2 Lurantis, or 2 Fomantis and a Bulu. Now, if he's playing a double colorless, I'm in a little bit of trouble. Alright, so that's not bad. He's only doing 80. The good thing about Leafeon is its ability. So I'm going to throw the double colorless onto there. Next up, we're going to bridge it, and like I said, we're going to get 2 Fomantis because I only have 2 Lurantis two Lurantis in my deck. We're going to grab 1 Bulu to throw down onto the bench. Now, Leafeon's ability here is Breath of the Leaves, which allows you to heal 50 damage to any Pokemon that has an energy attached to it. So, pretty useful. So now we're going to go for the Grand Bloom GX. Then we're going to get 2 Lurantis out. So now my Leafeon's doing 150 damage, which might not be enough. Actually, it will be enough to take out this Snorlax because of its ability. So, I mean, I'm not playing against the most meta deck out there. So he's going to knock away. He's going to put me at 110. That's fine. We're going to play another Bulu here. We're going to Breath of the Leaves, get some HP back so I can't get knocked out by something. And we're going to play an N so that we can get a nice full hand. So we did get another Float Stone. So what I want to do with this Float Stone is we want to put the Float Stones onto the Lurantis. We want to start building up one of my Tapu Bulu. Because your Leafeon is just going to stay out in the field until it gets knocked out. You Ace Rolla it, whichever one of the two, while you build up these Tapu Bulus. Now, a lot of decks will struggle to not have stuff knocked out within your first 2 turns because of being able to get hit for 170 damage. Now, where I do see this deck struggling is potentially in Glaceon matchups if I do not get Bulu built up quick enough. If I can knock out 1 or 2 Glaceons, then the Bulu versus Glaceon matchup's a lot better because Glaceon will shut... actually, I do not think Glaceon shuts down the abilities of Lurantis, so that's something I might have to check. I've not actually played against many Glaceon decks, so we do see a Glaceon EX and a Palkia EX. This Glaceon EX is something I want to get rid of ASAP, simply because... Switch one of your opponents benched. I don't like that. Okay, so I will need a Guzma here. So he's going to bring out either my Lele or one of my Lurantis, or possibly even one of my Bulu. Yeah, so he's going to bring out my Lurantis, which sucks. And he's going to start getting that Glaceon built up. Now, I'm considering putting in Enhanced Hammer, simply because a lot of decks are running double colorless energy. Special energies are everywhere, so I do want to find something to get rid of the special energies so that I do not have to worry about that in matchups. And here comes the Raichu, so he's what? Circle Circuit? Alright, so... what am I actually going to do here? Raichu gets knocked out. Glaceon isn't set up. I'm actually going to Ace Rolla, and I'm going to pick up the Leafeon. Just because I can evolve it right now, and now I'm perfectly healthy. Unfortunately, I do need to find a way to get Float Stones a little bit quicker, because you see he can attach double colorless right now. I do not want to waste a double colorless here at all. So I'm going to slap the choice bands onto my Bulu, and that will end my turn. So we got Glaceon healthy. I should have waited to use that Ace Rolla to get Lurantis back onto my bench, but now he has 2 double colorless energies left in his deck, so he can't really build up the Circuit Break or the Circle Circuit Raichu to knock out my Lurantis. Unless he does top deck one of them, but he just did play a water energy onto the Glaceon. So I will need a Guzma here to really start putting pressure onto him. I might have to just drop one of my double colorless here just to retreat into a Bulu. And we're going to Ultra Ball for... we're going to discard a Bridget and an Ultra Ball. For probably just another Eevee. Just in case something happens to the Bulu or something like that. We're going to Horn Attack. It should do 70 damage. So 70 damage for 1 energy knocks out most basic Pokemon, which is another good way that you can work this deck, is if you can get a Float Stone on Leafeon. By turn 4, now you're hitting your opponent's basics for 70. And what this Raichu's actually letting me do is starting to set up my Tapu Bulu. Now, does this Raichu have retreat cost? No, it does not. So, This is the issue, is Glaceon comes in, and now it just starts becoming bulky. And, oh, we do get a forfeit win, though. I will take that. I was pretty much in a position where I had to draw a Guzma, pick off the Palkia to win, because Glaceon can just sit there and stall me out, and that's the last thing I want to have happen. But let me know down in the comment section. We'll answer this question of the day. What is your favorite card from Ultra Prism? Now, Ultra Prism released probably some of the best. I don't want to say some of the best, because I mean, we got like Coco and Lele, but Ultra Prism might be one of the best sets from the Sun and Moon era. So let me know down in the comment section below, what is your favorite Ultra Prism card? Now, for me, it's 100% the Leafeon. I'm big on Duskmane and Necrozma. I really want to use that deck. Issue with me trying to play Duskmane and Necrozma in TCGO is they are expensive. I think they're going for 9-10 packs a piece. When I mean 9-10 packs, it's 9 to 10 Ultra Prism packs for one. So, ooh, started off with the Tapu Lele. So, what I'm seeing here is I can Ultra Ball the Eevee and the Acerola so that I can get rid of so I can get a Tapu Lele, get a Bridget, throw down 3 Fomantis. Right now, even though it's his turn, that's already what I'm thinking. He does have a Lele, but I will only have 1 energy on my Eevee, so I'm not too worried about it. He just played his own Eevee. He's already played an Eevee and an energy, so he can no longer evolve this turn. I'm not too worried at this point. So what we're going to do here is, 1, I'm going to Energy Lotto, see if I can get a Grass Energy. I did. So right away, we're going to throw the Grass Energy onto Eevee. We have a Leafeon, but I also want to scout to see how many Lurantis. I only got 2 Lurantis out. So that's something I do got to pay attention to, is I only have 2 Lurantis. I have 1 prized. We are going to Ultra Ball. We're actually going to get rid of Eevee and a Dupiter. And we're going to grab my Tapu Lele if that's not prized. It is not. So right there, we got Tapu Lele. We're going to throw Tapu Lele down onto the bench, and we're going to search out our copy of Bridget so that we can throw that down onto the bench. And because I only have 2 Lurantis in my deck, I'm going to grab 2 Fomantis and a Tapu Bulu. We're going to throw a Floatstone onto Leafeon. And we're going to Grand Bloom GX, and we're going to grab my 2 Lurantis. So next turn, what I'm thinking of doing is, if I had a Guzma, that'll actually work out better. But because I do not KO the Lele, and it's only going to be dealing, what's that, 30, 60 damage to me, I believe? 20 times 30, yeah. So he's only going to be dealing 60 damage unless he plays down another energy onto it. He does not. It looks like he's actually going to play Espeon. So he's only going to be able to deal 60 damage to my Leafeon. I can heal that back up. What sucks is if I had that third... Oof. Actually, you know what? That's probably not so bad because I have an Acerola in hand. And I can actually do a lot of damage to this Espeon real quick. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to pick up the Lurantis. We're going to put out my Espeon. And we're going to Solar Beam for 130. Now, I made him burn 1 Guzma. He probably is playing 3 to 4, so I know he has 2 to 3 left in his deck. Potentially, he might have 1 to 2 with 1 prize, never know. But as of right now, I'm in actually a very good spot. As he's going to retreat, he's going to go into Tapu Lele. There's 6 total energy on the field, so I'm getting hit for 108 or 120 damage. Okay, so if I heal, I'm at 70. he's going to have to play another energy for him to KO me. And this is where I can start putting float stones. I can start setting up Tapu Bulu. I'm looking at this, and I don't need a choice band because the Espeon's weak enough. So I can Bridget, discard Bridget and Ultra Ball, or Bridget and a choice band for another Eevee. So I can play that down onto the bench. We're going to Breath of Leaves, heal up, bring us to 70 HP, barring him putting another energy onto the Tapu Lele. I will be able to live and take it out next turn. Had I had a third Lurantis on the bench, that would have guaranteed a KO on the Tapu Lele, or had I put the choice band on it instead of the float stone turn 1. But, oof. Never mind, that actually might be enough to knock me out. So let us see. Does 120. Yep, so that will be enough to knock out my Leafeon. And what that'll do is let me actually go into Tapu Bulu, and Tapu Bulu picks up 2 kills here on Espeon and Tapu Lele. I don't see Kukui much, so that threw me off a little bit, but looking at it, plans change, so what we're going to do here is we will just go in with Tapu Bulu, click Horn Attack, do 70 damage, and pick up a KO. We're down early, but I mean, I don't see anything of it. I think I'm in actually a very good spot. So there's another Leafeon. So I got that evolved. What we can do now is we can just Sycamore, grab a nice fresh hand of 7. What we can do is throw another float stone onto the stuff that does need it. And we're going to Fomantis down here and attach another energy onto my Tapu Bulu. And we're going to click Horn Attack, taking out the Tapu Lele. So we're going to grab these 2 prizes down here in the corner, a double colorless and a Fomantis. So fortunately, I whiffed on getting the third Lurantis. Had I got the third Lurantis at this point, everything is game now. But looking at what I can do here, Nature's Judgment does 120 base. So what we can do is it'll be 160 base after Lurantis. If I discard any grass energy, it'd be even stronger. So what do we need? We want to get a double colorless energy onto Tapu Bulu. We're going to Cynthia, shuffle our hand back into our deck, draw a nice fresh 6. We're going to attach a choice band, as we see a Dawn Wings Necrozma sitting in the back. Alright, so we got the choice band here. And this allows us to go for Nature's Judgment, and we do not need to discard all the energy. I'm okay with being able to do that. And now, this next turn at 1, I can Horn Attack, take out 2, claim 2 prizes. I could potentially Guzma into something else. What's the thing in here? So, I'm in actually a very good spot here. Espeon gets knocked out. Dawn Wings Necrozma does get knocked out. The issue will be Psychic. Psychic will be, from Espeon, probably will take me out. Unless I can find unless I can get a Guzma. If I actually get a Guzma, I'm in a very happy spot. What do you know? The top decks are real. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to Guzma. We're gonna get that Espeon out because I do not want to be destroyed by Espeon. We're gonna get one of our Lurantis with the Float Stone, get into Tapu Bulu, and we're just going to Nature's Judgment for the KO. And we are back into a nice winning spot. Did we get the Lurantis? Got another double colorless and a grass. So normally I take the top 2 prizes first. Had I taken the top 2 prizes, I would have knocked out the Mewtwo earlier because I would have had that second Lurantis. Maybe because one of the Fomantis was the prize. But at this point, it will be game. Unless he does put a double colorless on Mewtwo to do 120 with Psyburn. Alright, well, we do got 2 double colorless in hand, so not too worried. We're just going to go out to Leafeon. We are going to click Solar Beam, and that will be the game. We are 2-0 with this deck now. And that is all I will have for today. I think this video will be up on Friday. So keep an eye out for it, and I will bring you guys Friday, or not Friday, it'll be out Thursday for you guys. And it'll just be part 2 of breaking down this deck, what can improve, what are some of the changes I might make. But so far, I'm pretty happy with the deck. Unfortunately, no fire matchups, so Araquanid was not used, so it's something that it's in the deck for that specific matchup. So hopefully I can find a ways to potentially pull that off. But with all that being said, guys, I am Johnny GB, and I'm out.